Hi everybody, my name is Matan and I'm the developer of the WAN project. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to install it from the beginning and how to use it. First of all, let's talk about the purpose of this project. There is a protocol called WAN, which gives you the ability to turn your computer from the local network. The problem is that it works only on the local network. The WAN project gives you the ability to turn your computer from anywhere in the world over the internet. You can install the server application of the app either on a Raspberry Pi or on an Android device. Here is the timeline of the tutorial if you want to skip to a different part of the video. Okay, so first of all, we have to enable Wake on LAN on the computer we want to wake up remotely. So let's go to Control Panel. Next, let's go to Device Manager. And then we have to search for the network card we want to use in order to wake the computer. So mine is Realtek. Let's go to Properties. Let's go to Power Management. And we have to make sure that all of these three options are selected. Then let's go to Advanced. Let's go to Wake on Magic Packet. It has to be enabled. This option also has to be enabled, and this option must be 10 megabytes or 100 megabytes. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to install the server application if you prefer to run your server on an Android. So let's go to the Play Store. Let's download the app. Okay, after the installation is finished, let's open it. This is how the screen should look like after the installation. You can also make sure the server is running by opening the notification center and seeing this notification. In this part, I'm gonna show you how to install an operating system on your Raspberry Pi, and then we will configure a static IP to the Raspberry Pi, and then we will install the server application on the Raspberry Pi. So let's start by going to the Raspberry Pi official site. Let's search for it. The official Raspberry Pi operating system is called Raspbian. So let's download Raspbian Buster with desktop. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not gonna download it again. And after you've downloaded the zip file, you need to install the imager. This is what takes the zip file and puts it on your Raspberry Pi SD card. So let's go to the installation guide. Let's click on Raspberry Pi imager. We'll click on the Raspberry Pi imager for Windows. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again. Now let's go to the downloads folder and install the imager. This is the file that I've downloaded. After the installation is finished, we need to choose the zip file that we have downloaded. So let's click on Choose OS. I'm gonna select Use Custom. This is the image that I've downloaded, so let's choose it. Then let's choose the SD card that I've inserted to my computer, and then we click on Write. After the writing process was completed, we'll click on Continue. Now we need to copy the WAR server application files to a different removable drive. So let's search WAR Matan Newsletter on Google. Let's go to this page. We click on installation on Windows, Linux. Click on this link. And then click on download. I'm gonna save it on the downloads folder. Okay. After the file was successfully downloaded, let's go to the downloads folder. Now we need to extract this file. I'm gonna use WinRAR in order to do this action, but you can use whatever program you prefer. Let's right click on it and click on extract. Okay, after it finished extracting the file, let's copy it to the USB drive. So I've connected the SD card into the Raspberry Pi. I also connected the monitor, mouse, keyboard, and a network card. So let's turn on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so after the Raspberry Pi is finished booting up, the first thing we want to do is to configure a static IP address. So let's go to the network icon. We'll select wireless and wired network settings. We'll select interface, IT1. We'll enter the following IP address. The route IP is the following. The NS1 is this. Click on apply. Okay, so after we finish setting up the static IP address, let's go open the terminal and make sure that we have internet connectivity. So let's open the terminal. And we will ping 8.8.8.8. Okay, so we have internet connectivity. We can also make sure that the static IP is configured correctly by pinging the Raspberry Pi from another computer. After we finish configure a static IP, we need to install the server application. So let's open the removable drive that I've connected. Let's open this folder. Let's open another window. And I'm going to the home and then to the Pi folder. Then I'm gonna copy the server dist folder to the home/Pi folder. And then I need to edit the .bashrc file. If you don't see this file, press on view and then show hidden. Then I'm gonna open it. And I'm gonna add the following 2 lines. And then I'm gonna save it. Let's save it again to make sure, and that's it. The next thing we need to do is to install Java. So let's open another terminal. And we will enter the following commands. Now enter the following command: sudo apt install open jdk -8 -jdk. We'll click on Y and then enter. In the meanwhile, we can enable SSH on the Raspberry Pi so that we have the ability to control the Raspberry Pi remotely. We can also change the password of the Pi user. So let's click here. We'll click on Preferences. We'll click on Raspberry Pi configuration. And then we're gonna click on Change Password. And I'm gonna enter the password one for the Pi user. Then we want to enable SSH. So let's go to Interfaces. We'll click on Enabled and the SSH line, and then we'll click on OK. Okay, so right now when the installation is finished, we can make sure that we have Java installed by entering the following command: Java version. So if it gives the following output, that means we have Java installed. Now let's make sure that the war server starts by opening another terminal. If you see the following output, that means that the war server has started, and now we can connect it from the war client application and configure it however we want. Okay, so after we finished setting up the Raspberry Pi, we're gonna download the Android client, and then we're gonna configure the server however we want. You can also configure your server from the PC client. You can download the PC client from the WAR webpage. So let's start by downloading the Android client from the Play Store. I have a link right here. Let's click on install. Now let's open the app. In the server address, let's enter the server address that we have set up. So it will be 192.168.2.23. We don't need to change any of these. And the default username and password after a clean installation is admin and admin with small letters. Then let's click on connect. So as you can see, we have successfully logged into the server, but it's empty. So let's add a new computer. Let's click on the plus button. We name it my computer. Now let's enter the computer MAC address. This line needs to be the broadcast address of the local network. This bug was fixed in a later version, so let's enter the broadcast address. These are the ports that the WAN packets will be sent to. We don't need to change it, but if you want to change it for some reason, you need to keep it on the same format. If you have a computer name or a static IP, you can enter it in this field, and then you can check whether the computer has turned on or not. In my case, my computer address is the following. And then let's click on confirm. Now we can see that the computer was added to the database. Let's add another computer for testing. Okay, now we can see that we have two computers configured on our server. If we long press on a computer and then select Add Home Screen Shortcut, we can create a shortcut that will wake the computer automatically after pressing on it. You can also edit an existing computer after a long press and delete them. If you click on the three dots menu and then click on Manage Users, you can edit existing users, create new ones, and delete them. So let's create a new user, for example. If we want to give this user admin privileges, we need to check this box. I don't want to give him, so I'm not gonna check this box. Let's give him a password. And now we can see that the user was successfully created. Let's check this user. Now we have successfully connected with the test user, and we can see that we have only the option to wake computers, but we don't have the option to create new computers, delete them, or manage the users. Let's return to the admin user. It is recommended to delete the admin user and create your own admin with a different username and password due to security reasons. You can control the server using a CLI interface by pressing the three dots menu and pressing Open CLI. Here you can enter CLI commands. You can find all of the CLI commands on the website. Let's type, for example, the following command: get ID. It gives us the ID of the user, which is 1. Let's enter another command: get users. Now it shows us a list of the users that exist on the server. You can also save the database of the server to the local device by pressing on the three dots menu and then click on Save Database. We'll click on Allow and then click again on Save Database. Then we can see that the database was successfully saved to the Downloads folder. Let's browse the database using SQLite editor. Let's go to the Download folder This is the database. Here we can see that we have 2 PCs and we also have 2 users. This is the password and it's encrypted, so you can just randomly enter it. You can also change the theme of the app by pressing the 3 dots menu and then clicking on the dark theme toggle. Only premium users can create home screen shortcuts and use the dark theme mode. In order to purchase the premium version of the app, click on the 3 dots menu and then click on Buy Restore Premium. You can also read the CLI commands after pressing the 3 dots menu and selecting Help. In this part, I'm going to teach you how to configure port forwarding on your router. This gives you the ability to connect to your work server from the internet. So let's type the IP address of my router. Let's enter the username and password. After I've logged into the router, let's go to Advanced, then Port Forwarding. I'm gonna create a new role, let's call it Web Server. The connections is VDSL IPv4. Let's click on Add. The destination IP address is the IP address of the Raspberry Pi, so let's type it. The port will be TCP UDP. The start will be 7700, then will be 7701. Then let's click on Apply. And then let's click on Enable, and then Apply again. The last thing we need to do is setting up a dynamic DNS service. The reason we need to do this is because our router has a public IP that always changes, and we want that the work server will have a permanent address that never changes. I'm gonna use a dynamic DNS service called DuckDNS. So let's start by signing up to the service. Let's use a Google account. I'm gonna choose this mail address. Now let's choose a domain. Let's call it WoW domain. Let's click on a domain. We have successfully registered our domain, and now we need to set up a client that updates our domain address with our router's current public IP every 5 minutes. So let's click on install. Let's click on Pi. And choose the WoW domain. These are the commands we are going to enter. Let's open an SSH session to our Raspberry Pi. Let's type the password that we have set up. Let's start with this command, make dir duckDNS. Now let's change into this directory. Now we are going to create a file called duck.sh. I'm gonna use the nano editor instead of VY. Now let's copy this line and paste it into nano. Okay. Now let's click on Control and O. Let's click on Enter and exit. Let's print this file in order to make sure that everything was saved. Now I'm going to make the doc.sh file as executable, so let's type the following command. Okay, then we're gonna enter the following command. We're gonna use nano. Let's add the following line in the end of this file. Now let's save this file by pressing Ctrl O, enter, and then let's exit. Let's test the script using the following line. Now let's make sure that the script works using the following command. If you see OK here, that means that the last run was successful. And if you see KO, that means that it wasn't successful and something went wrong during the update. Now you can enter in the client app the domain that you have registered in the server address. This will give you the ability to connect to your work server from anywhere in the world. In this tutorial, you have learned how to implement the Wake on WAN project and how to use it. I hope you will find this project useful. I want to thank you for watching this video and I wish you the best.